Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Safe Haven Valley Workbench. Today, as I stated in my video the other day, I have another segment coming up right now for working on the steel bridge conversion, and we are working on the side supports. I got this one ready to go for the next stage, but I kind of wanted to go through and show you the first two steps that I did, so and get that drying, and then just go ahead and do this one for the next couple of steps to get it closer to where I want it, and then call it a wrap. I just wanted to kind of show you kind of what I'm doing on it and how I'm doing it. This has just been a fun project. I've been doing a lot of trial and error stuff on it, different things, and just kind of seeing how things work and how things don't work. So, let's get right into it. What I'm doing here, what I did on here is, I took brown pigment chalk and I just basically kind of put it up on, I took the brown pigment chalk and I am basically just kind of staining the wood from the pine wood color here and kind of dabbing it on. But what you don't see is what's happening on the other side. It's actually doing both sides at the same time, sort of. So while I'm doing this side, trying to get a little bit on there, it's actually, I'll show you here in a second. It's actually doing what I want it to do on the other side. And it's kind of cool because what this is doing is it's dirtying up the wood and allowing it to turn brown. And then I'm going to turn this over. See how it turned the back side. This is the back side that was on the facing down. It's already got a lot of it turned brown. So what I do is I just kind of add to that. Just kind of going back up on this side a little bit, kind of adding a little more to it. This side's already packed, so I'm not really trying to disturb it too much. And what it's going to do is I'm going to add a wash to this, a little bit of a wash to it. So now that I've done this, that's the first step to this whole, just, taking brown pigment chalk, this stuff here, and I took my number 11 exact blade, and I just shaved it. But the alternative to this, and I didn't do it, I should have, is you can take your chalk, and I'm going to do it up here. There's a little bit of spot left. I just take your chalk, and you can just kind of draw right on the piece. Just like that. And it does the same effect, but it's more direct. Now that we're done with that, and I did it on both sides, and I'm pretty darn good with that. I'm gonna move it over here to this side for a moment. Move this out of the way. We're gonna add our wash. This is my kind of my pigment. This has got my brown and my kind of my rusty color chalks mixed in with alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. So, and all we're going to do is we're just going to take it and we're just going to drop it. Just follow the wood structure. And just do that. What's going to happen is that these pigments in here is going to settle, and it's going to turn into it's going to turn into that. You have that on that side, and then you have that on the other. So it really brings out the dirty brown look of the bridge. So that's what I'm aiming for. So now I got this side done a little bit. I gotta let this dry. But that's what I do on both sides. I just take this, and now that I did all the pigment chalk brown, I take this. I've already applied a coat on this side. Once this air dries a little bit, I will put another coat on the other side. So I'll just set that up here out of the way. That's so step 1 is getting the brown chalk on it. Step 2 is to get this this on it. Step 3 is to come back to pigment chalks, we are going to use the blacks and grays. A little bit. Now, mind you, this is just all trial and error. I'm playing around with it, you know, so this is just a scratch build thing I'm doing. So it's kind of a learn as I go to find techniques that I like, that I can apply in other builds and stuff like that. So none of this may or may not work out, but that's okay. I'm trying to learn and do things in a good way. So now that I got the brown out of the way, I'm going to do this. All I'm going to do is take this, fold the brown over like that, boom. Boom. And then I just turn it around like that. Flip it over. Good to go. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of black. The reason why is because I don't want the black to stand out too much on this bridge. But I'm going to add a gray to kind of lighten the black and the brown a little bit to pull out kind of an aged look. A lot like what I did here. On here, I used my, on this piece, I was able to use my, my Viterro, only because it's regular wood, but I use it very sparingly. And then what I did is I added brown chalk, gray chalk, and black chalk, and as you see, I left a little bit of a strip right down the middle, and everything. So the blacks down here, a little dark, you know, I just kind of aged it up a little bit. Then on the back side, I have all this aged here. So once I get this on the bridge installed, I'll have to tip it upside down and figure, okay, this is enough for two tracks to go under it, you know, because they'll sit up. You have a piece of track and track. So then I'll have to weather the entire bridge with black to represent the smoke from diesels and steam locomotives in the proper perspective. So, and that part will probably I could do beforehand, just make it wide enough, and then it should be good to go. Or I can wait and do that part when I actually apply it to the layout. This is going to be a footbridge. It's not going to have the stairs like the other piece did, because originally it came out across here. It came out, and then it had stairs coming down. I'm not using this as that. I'm going to have it as a footpath going up from one side all the way across. So there'll be a landing up here on this side, and then a landing on here on this side, going off into wherever. But all right. So now that we have this, we're back to here. I'm going to take my blade here, and I am going to shave some black over this. Just add a little bit of black to it. Now, it may seem like I'm putting a lot on here, but I gotta get both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and remember, when we do weathering and aging, we have to do it in layers. So now we had the original wood, we had the brown, we have for the chalk, we had the liquid, the alcohol pigment wash. Now we're adding the chalks again as the black. So I'm just kind of dabbing this on here to kind of get that darker color, and I'm just, black always stands out better than most things, as we all know. So, and I'm just taking it and just giving it some black, getting it, you know, kind of getting it more of a really dirty look. And this piece here is pretty fragile because it's not held together with a lot of glue. So I'm having to do it very carefully. Now, if I were to redo this again, I would do it all in like 4x4 structure beams, or 2, you know, HO scale, not 2x4, but you know, it'd be 4x4 construction posts. This is just a fun project I wanted to do. You know, it was a learning project, you know, on that kind of thing, so I'm not too worried about it. Worst case scenario, I just redo the whole thing and I build it all over again, and it'll go pretty quick. Now, I'm pretty pleased with the construction. This construction, it looks pretty good. But as far as the side post supports, I probably could have gone a little better, you know. So, alright, get this down here. Boom, 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 boom. Oops. See, that's what I'm talking about. This piece kind of popped loose, so I'm going to have to hold it in place. And then I just turn it over, and look at that. I've already got it pretty well done. So if you do one side, it actually does duplicates itself. So, now that we got the black on there, it gets the aged look to it. I'll bring it up close to the camera so you can see it. My lighting is, I'm getting a better light, trust me guys. So you got the black that kind of goes over the brown. See how it's starting to look like a little bit of aged black over the brown and over the wash. Let me see if the other side shows a little better. There you go. See how that is making it look right up, you know? That's kind of what I'm going for. Now I'm adding another layer, the gray. So after I get this a little more done, I'll add some gray to it. You know, just getting this kind of really black, and then I'm gonna lighten it up with some gray, just subtly, just subtle. You know, you don't want to go too much to remove this the wear on this bridge, because I am making this an old bridge. It's just an old footbridge. It crosses the tracks, the double track from one side of a hill to another, and it's just a path. I mean, it's just a path, a footpath. So now that I got that good, I'm going to take some of my gray down here and do the same thing. And so we did the black. So far we did the brown pigment chalk as the first layer. Then we did the wash for a second layer. Then we did the black for a third layer of chalk. Now we're doing the gray to lighten up a little bit and hopefully pull out some of the black characteristics in this a little bit, is my hope, with the gray. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different layers being added to this to give it a kind of an older bridge look. The only reason why I'm doing it this way is because I'm concerned about having a lot of the alcohol stuff on it, but it just kind of seems to, you know, I wasn't unsure how well this would have held up because of how fragile the joints are. So we are just kind of shooting from the hip on this. It's not going to entirely hide the white pine look or the natural wood, which is fine, because not all, you know, you're going to have some of that on structures to pop through. And I wanted the brown and the gray and the black to kind of all blend a little bit, just to have that pigment chalk weathered look. But, you know, like I said, this is just a fun project. It's not detrimental to anything. It's not on a layout. It's not for anybody. It's just something I'm doing. So it's kind of like a learning project, I guess you could say. That, you know, find things that work and don't work. That's what I love about these scratch builds, is that you can learn something that you can apply on something else that you're actually going to do for your layout. Now this will probably end up on my layout at some point. Worst case scenario, I just go and paint it brown and weather it and do whatever, you know. That's the worst case scenario, but I'm trying my weathering with pigment chalks a little more to see where I stand and how well it looks. So it's all good. So I'm just kind of dabbing on this stuff to kind of seeing how well it'll come out, you know. I don't know. It's kind of questionable. You know, I'm just kind of trying to keep it a learning process here, you know. You have to stretch your abilities to learn, and if you don't do it, then you're not going to be able to learn. And so I'm learning ways to kind of achieve an aged look with this stuff in layers. That's one thing I've learned, is that we have to do it all in layer look. So see what you're gonna, when I show you this, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. The gray kind of cling to the black, and the black cling to the brown, and it shows a little bit through in some spots, and it has the natural wood in the other. And you know, I'm kind of just going through and kind of doing a light dusting of the brush. After now I got it all on here, I'm going through and just kind of dusting it all a little bit off, just because I just want to settle a little bit of the gray. I don't want it to overpower greatly, but I still want it to show that there's some silvering in it. So you're not going to have everything silvered, obviously. So So there you have it. I know my lighting is, let's see, can I get it? See if this light will pick it up better. All right, so this light shows it a little bit better. Let me move the camera up a little bit, guys, sorry. All right. So you can, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. There you go. So there, much better. I gotta get this bulb replaced. So now you can see what I was talking about. I added, with all the layers together, we did the brown pigment chalk, we did the brown rusty pigment wash, and then we did the black and now the gray. And this is kind of the result in those 4 layers. It kind of aged it a little bit, you know, to where I wanted to see it. You still see the brown, see a little bit of the natural wood. It's actually turned out pretty darn well for the most part. So it did pretty well on both sides, you know, and it looks just like dirty lumber to me, you know. You know, you might have a different view on it, but that's great. You know, you can leave your comments below if you want, but you know, I love how it's turned out. It's, you know, it's like I said, it's a learning project. But this is really, really, really good so far for my, you know, this is just something I'm just trying, and I'm kind of liking it. You know, it could be a little better, but I'm liking how it's coming out. And so, what I'm doing is the entire process will be done to the other will be done to this piece as well. So I want to set these side by side for you real quick so you can see the difference. So the left one will be the completed one. Okay, so this is just the brown with, and then the wash, this one here. This one on the left is the completed one, which has the black and the gray. So see the difference? See how much this comes out to be more of an aged look than just leaving it a brownish color like that. So that's why I did that. I wanted to get this kind of a stained brown look color. And then, and now that when this dries, well, the other side, I should say, this is the one side I still have to stain, but there. So I went from that to the wash side, and then I went to this. So look how much difference it makes it. It really, really, in my opinion, it really pops it. You know, and I like it. It's coming out pretty darn good. It's coming out pretty darn good. Far as the technique and the process, it really, I love it. So I'll probably use it again in the future. So, because I love the outcome of how it makes it look, you know, and all that kind of thing. But yeah, that is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, you gotta. I'm playing around with it. I've learned a lesson. I've liked a way of doing something. So the more you do it, the more it gets perfected. So I'm gonna use it in the future. But yeah, that's the difference. This is where we started on this one, and this is where the other one is going to end up. And essentially, I will be doing the same thing on the bridge, the big pieces. That'll be a little more time consuming because there's a lot more smaller pieces to it. So I got to really slow down and take my time so I don't break anything. And hopefully we'll come out with this look. And if you, I want to show you something. See how well that matches? This, we're using the left one here. See how well that kind of goes together? So I'm liking it, you know. So that's pretty much what I was jumping on here for the video. Feel free to leave a comment down below if you wish. And let me know what you think. But I am loving this process of stuff. So the next video will be probably when I do the assembly. So that kind of thing. Maybe next week is when I'll end up doing it. I don't know. There's a lot coming up this weekend. It's you know, with a birthday party for my niece and stuff going on for me and my wife on Saturday, and in the morning, and then and all that other fun stuff, and a couple other things I'm doing related to the hobby. So yeah, it's gonna be a busy week, so I'll get another video out. Maybe, I'm not guaranteeing it, maybe over the weekend. I'm not entirely sure, but for sure next week I'll have this thing being put together. So stay tuned for a video possibly this weekend or early next week for the assembly of this bridge. I'm looking forward to getting it done. And then I also have I'm working on the other project right here right now, which is I'm working on the sign. It's Tim's Feeds and Supply. So so with that, yeah, I'm gonna leave it, and we'll see you in the next video. You guys have a great, wonderful day, and enjoy your modeling. Just remember, when we're at the workbench, it's our time. You're not on anybody else's time, you're on your time. So make the most of your time at the bench and have fun with it. You know, don't feel like you have to rush. So that's my note for the day. Don't rush, enjoy your time at the bench. And we'll see you next time. Talk to you later.